Thank you for tuning into the Soapbox. Thank you for tuning into the Soapbox. You're here with your boy Sonny Tay. We got Karan in the building, aka Amal, with the Canal hat yet again.
Bro, you don't have to describe my outfit every time.
Yo, your outfits are fire, bro. Pause.
Appreciate
the
it.
outfits.
Damn.
We got Sonny in the building. Hi, y'all. We got the special guest. Let me get the air horns real quick. We got Michael,
Yo,
aka Mike,
yo,
aka Corporate Mike.
Yeah, I was about
Yo.
to say, we know him as Corporate Mike.
Corporate Mike
Me.
from the Social Thought. How you doing? Let's get a round of applause. Let's get a round of applause.
hold up. Can I hear that soundbite one more
Yeah.
time?
I got you. What's that? What's that?
The soapbox.
You don't remember
That's
that,
so
bro?
dope. I didn't even know I was. Oh, that's so fire.
Oh man, I don't know. It feels really good to be back. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Been like 2 months, right?
2 months, bro, since we
Wow.
fucking recorded in person. I don't know. This is probably a one-time deal, but if it's not, then I'm happy. But how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? How's
I'm
y'all
doing
weekend and
great,
shit?
man. You know, the weekend is going well. A lot has been going on in the world
Yeah.
and locally and globally. So I know we're gonna get to that and start talking about that there.
Yeah.
How's your quarantine been, Michael? I haven't talked to you in a while. How's your quarantine
God,
been?
you know, man. Honestly, man.
Were you scared?
Was I scared?
Yeah.
Yes and no. The only thing I could say I was afraid of was just missing out on everything that's going on outside. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it got really nice out. Because I like nature a lot. I like to be outside. I like to bike ride. I like to walk. I like to run. I like to go hiking. I like to do a lot of that stuff. So, you know, that's probably what my biggest fear was. Just missing out on all of that.
Yeah.
What I can say the quarantine has done for me is allow me to, you know, reflect and get more in tune with myself, you know what I'm saying, with fitness, with health, you know what I'm saying. I learned how to cook a lot better. I used to cook a lot,
shit.
but I learned how to cook so much better. You know what I'm saying? During quarantine, I worked on putting together a workout plan.
Wow. You working at home, bro?
Yeah. Look, all the weights and everything. You guys don't know, but
Wow.
they're in the house right now. But I got a few workout stuff here. I got some more stuff down at my parents' house. But I put together a whole workout plan for 30 to 60 days. That's once I finalize that, that's gonna be something that I start to push out more. And you know what I'm saying, focusing more on the podcast and getting more in tune with everything that's going on in the world. Like, you know, like I said, quarantine allows you to just slowed everything down and look at everything in perspective. So
That's a fact.
that's my quarantine story.
How you doing, Karan?
That's what's up. That's what's
How's
up.
your day? How's your weekend? What's your
Pretty
Canal
good,
hat?
man. You know, a little bit of a rough week, but just like personal shit. But yeah, everything's going pretty good. Thank you again, Mike, for having us over.
Yes, thank you.
No,
Sure.
thank
Another
you
round of
guys,
applause
man. I
for Michael.
appreciate y'all.
It's an
man.
excuse for Dante to get out the house, so he's hyped.
Bro, this is my first time having human interaction, man. Like, it feels good, bro. You know what I heard?
So-
a lot of people told me, not to cut you off, a lot of people told me that because there's quarantine, some people don't know how to, like, some people kind of forget how to, like, socialize with people now because of quarantine. And I was like, how is that?
It's
like,
definitely like weirder trying to socialize because I mean, of course, they're telling you to keep your distance anytime you're in public. So you know, it's hard to interact when you have a mask covering your face and you can't get close. It is a little weird though. It's a little weird.
really.
I mean, you know, it takes what, like 15 to 30 days to break a habit. So just imagine just sitting in your house
Yeah.
for 2 months.
2 months,
you know
over
what
2
I'm
months.
saying?
It's-
And all you're doing is
yeah.
just watching the news or just not really doing anything. You're just
Yeah.
quarantining and you're on social media all the time. You're going to forget how to have that person-to-person interaction. You know what I mean? So I can understand that. I can see that.
That's
I can never
crazy.
see
That's
that.
crazy.
Are y'all starting to like chill with y'all friends now? Now like we're beginning like phase 1 in New York, and are y'all starting to get out or trying to get out a little more?
I've been kind of getting out.
Talking shit. I'm about to say.
Like I said, I love
Nigga, Michael
nature.
be
I
out of
love
parties and
nature.
shit. He ain't slick. I seen that shit on Snap, bro.
I don't know what you talk about.
You throwing bangers over here?
That's a fact.
Shit.
Nah, you know what, man? Honestly, I've had, you know, because people, like Apollo and everybody, our
Shouts to
people.
Apollo.
Dre came up here a couple times. He came up here right before quarantine like really started, and he's up here now, and we've had a couple events since. So, I've social distanced, but
This is the first time I've actually been around. Like,
I mean,
people.
I haven't seen you in like I don't know how long.
That's a fact, bro.
At least a month.
I think the last time we recorded, that was the last time I was around people, bro.
Probably. It's been over a month.
Yeah.
Definitely over a month since
I
I
mean, the
seen
only
you
person I've
personally.
been seeing was Shorty, but that's about it.
Just Shorty?
Yeah, that's the only person I was seeing. But other than that, I wasn't seeing like one of my friends. I didn't see Henry.
Yeah, I
didn't
just
see
saw
nobody.
all of them like at the protests. Like that's the first time
Really?
I saw all of them. Yeah.
Oh, you guys hugged?
You're funny. We probably did actually.
What's wrong with hugging, bro?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We probably did, to be
Exactly.
honest.
Exactly. All right, but let's get into talking
Blow
about the
up his spot.
protests. I'm not, bro. Niggas gotta hug sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking about the protests, both of y'all went to protests around 845,
Yes.
where we're at. I unfortunately couldn't go because mamas don't play no games and because of Corona.
Yeah.
But
I understand.
so I wanted to get y'all take on like the protests around here. I guess I'll talk with you first. We went to the most recent one in Goshen.
Yeah, I went to the Goshen protests. It went really well. Everyone is like, that was the thing. Everyone was surprised about how many people showed up. Like, that's like the big thing. It went really well though. It was they had a whole bunch of the African American students who went to Goshen just kind of like share their experiences, just dealing with racism just in the town itself, in the schools, It went really well. Everyone was super supportive. The cops weren't on no bullshit. They let us kind of do whatever. I mean, but not whatever, but it was pretty tame. But, I was telling Dante before, I was a little I don't know if I was telling you, but I was telling somebody that I was a little hesitant on like even going. Just because you know how Goshen could be,
That's why I was surprised, bro.
It's a lot of like racism and like a lot of undertones in like Goshen. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to go out there, but I'm happy I went, man. It went really well.
Were you surprised that Goshen was even doing a protest when you first heard about it?
I wasn't surprised just because like that's kind of like the theme. All the towns are really doing it. I don't know if they're doing it because that's just like what everyone else is doing. But I'm definitely surprised of the turnout because there was definitely over like 500-600 people out there.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably more, honestly. They had like drones flying all around. Like it was crazy, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Goshen. So I'm good around close to Goshen.
Which town did you go to?
So, yeah, they had one out here in Poughkeepsie,
Poughkeepsie.
which started around Tubman. That's right by the bridge, and it was incredible, man. When I tell you, this has just been like seeing all this has just been wildly emotional because, like, dude, I have a lot of experiences with police officers as well. You know what I'm saying? And again, what my experience is not the next person's experience. So I'm never gonna, discredit people that are, or wear that badge that's there to protect and serve. So I'm not gonna discredit them. There's always some bad apples, but but seeing all this happen is just incredible to me because it's like there was I think what did it say? I think the news article when I first got there I think there was like 300-400 people, but the news article at the end of the day said over 2,000 people.
Sheesh.
Damn.
And which I think it was over 2,000. It might have been 1,000, but just to see people of all colors there, black, white, Spanish. Shout out to Mr. Pepperton for putting together the Stop the Violence protest.
Shout out to
You
Pep.
know what I'm saying? And the others, I'm sorry, I did this when I was on the show. I forgot the others' names, and I definitely forget about. I do apologize. Melanie, I think, was out there. Miss Mel and John Carlo, prettiest legislator in the Hudson Valley, who's on the Social Thought podcast, was out there too. There's a lot of strong leaders that was out there. The police was out there, and it was just a lot of solidarity that was out there. What we really wanted to do was get the officers that was on our side to be able to kneel with us and hug us and all that stuff, but
It wasn't about it.
he wasn't about
We know
to
how
get
that can go, yeah.
But what we did see was later on was pictures of state troopers hugging some of the people that went across the bridge, because they allowed 100 people to go across the bridge. So, and we saw there were pictures taken of them hugging and everything, which was beautiful, which was awesome. But you know, that experience was incredible because, you know, Poughkeepsie's kind of like a giant perimeter, right?
Facts.
I feel like Poughkeepsie's like in the middle of like everything with like LaGrange, Highland, you know, Newburgh, Pleasant Valley, Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Poughkeepsie's like right dead center in the middle in the middle of it, and everyone kind of like broke up because we were just like, we couldn't get across the bridge. So they're like, all right, whatever, we're gonna go this way, and we walk this way. People walk this way. People walk that way. People walk this way, and we're just like, yo, what the hell's going on? Nobody knows what's going on. All of a sudden, we're just doing this big full circle around Poughkeepsie, and then all of a sudden, you just see a massive group. Like when we get back to Tubman, you see a massive group. And you're like, yo, and it was just like everyone's screaming and cheering and going crazy because it's like, oh my God, bro. Like, would you ever? I just gotta ask you guys. Would you guys ever imagine that something like this would happen in your lifetime?
Nah, bro. I don't. That's why I was so surprised to see so many protests in our town. Like, it surprised me. It was like, because I can't really name a time where like everybody in 845 even got together like that, bro. Like, we don't really fuck with each other. I mean, we fuck with each other, but it's like not together as like a community. You know what I mean? So the fact I was seeing all these protesters in Middletown, Goshen, Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, Washingtonville, even Chester had a little fucking protest.
But not even just like upstate, just around the world. Like, yo, we're seeing people in like New Zealand, people like UK, literally everywhere, like protesting. But that kind of just shows that, you know, even though it's about like black. I want to. That's another thing. I kind of want to stop saying black. I had a conversation with like a few older people, and they rather say African American. So I kind of want to respect that. But I've been seeing a lot of like just African Americans just all around the world, just everyone all around the world. But everyone can kind of relate to that. Just, you know, abuse of power and just corruption. You know, people just want to see. You know, they don't want that to happen anymore. They want to have that end. So. Yeah, I'm just happy that everyone's like kind of supporting each other and, you know, just being out there and being active. So
that's a fact.
It's a good sign.
Dope. It's real, man. The fact that I'm seeing everybody support one another like this, I'm seeing white people and black people really come together and really agree on something. You know what I'm saying? We're really seeing a change right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot different than all the other protests because, you know, with the protests with Trayvon, Tamir Rice, even with recently with Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, and I just want to give those two a big shout out because right now those two names are low key getting lost in, you know what I'm saying? Those two names are getting lost in the mix of George Floyd right now. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And rest in peace, George Floyd as well. But we also got to remember Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, who both were killed in senseless acts, as well. And to see this, man, to see the world come together, Ireland, New Zealand, Europe, all of Europe,
countries in Asia,
you know what I'm saying? Asian countries, you know what I'm saying? Like, everywhere. Brazil, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different countries that's just protesting with us and finally recognizing that, and I know you just said that, you want to say African Americans, but people finally recognizing that the black life, is something just as precious as the next life.
Yeah.
It's finally in. It's I don't know, man. It's deep, man. It's deep, and just to see everyone doing it is just incredible to me, man. It's just incredible. It's incredible. Dude, I don't know. I'm lost for words.
That's a fact. But staying on the protests, I don't know. I haven't been seeing any, but have y'all heard like anything going on with like, are people still like rioting and looting?
I mean, a lot of that is kind of coming to. It's not happening as much. They're starting to crack down on it, so they're definitely more strict when it comes. Like, literally, cops are on every corner, like of really every like big town. I know in Middletown, it's like Main Street or all the shopping centers by Walmart, the mall, like they're all stationed there. I don't know if it's like that like in other towns, but Yeah, they're on top of like the looting and stuff.
So, what I got from all the protests, like another thing I got from the protests is that the media loves to like dictate the narrative of things.
Absolutely.
So when we was talking about the looting and stuff, like I thought it was like mostly like not all our people, but people who were protesting, right? So I thought that then news came out like, oh, there's only a couple of cops doing this. There's like organized groups that's actually doing the looting, rioting and stuff, and the media is like portraying it like it's the African Americans or it's the peaceful protesters, like they just start to riot and get crazy. So it was like when I was watching how the media would just talk about like
just strictly on the looting and not
strictly on the looting and not focusing on like, because they're not stupid. They have social media. They have access to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like we know shit that happens first before they even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the fact that they're not seeing all these videos of like, there's cops kneeling with us, there's cops hugging us, there's cops getting other cops accountable. Like I saw this lady sergeant or whatever. I guess this white cop pushed this guy, and the lady sergeant like got on his ass like in front of protesters. Everyone like, yo, what you doing, my nigga? Like, but they're not gonna show that. But they're gonna show like the quote unquote bad part of the peaceful protest. And so I don't know if I have a question, but it's like I don't know if I'm.
So you want me to break it down for you? Want me to break it down?
Break it down.
So you got to remember that the news is a business, right? So the news is a business, all right? Businesses, in order to stay afloat, need to make money, obviously, right? So, though the press is supposed to be there to inform the people, at the same time, they still need to make money. Now, what are people making money off of? Okay, or what are you going to make money off of?
Yeah,
you're going to make money off of your ratings. What are people watching? Would you rather? Are you going to watch people peacefully just saying, marching, holding up signs, not really doing much, at the start of it, the start of protests, where it's like, okay, there's probably 100, 200 people gathering in each spot. Not really doing much. Can't really do too much.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch that? How can you report on that versus somebody throwing a brick in a window?
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, oh damn, people are rioting, they're looting, they're stealing in my area. I need to be informed. I need to watch the news so I can. More people watch that, more people are informed. That's what they're gonna be like. Hey, just want to let you know, down the street in Poughkeepsie, there's people about to go do this. Tune in at this time so you can see exactly what's going on. Oh shoot, I gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very it's very ratings driven. So if they're putting that out and they're getting so many viewers because of that, then it's like, all right, cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then it turned political, right? Because now Donald Trump is coming out and saying, you know what?
Some wild shit.
I'm the president of law and order.
Literally.
So now
Literally,
I need, the National Guard to come out and blah, blah, blah. So now people are like, nah, you know what? Let's be honest. We're not the ones that's actually rioting. We're actually out here protesting, being peaceful, but we're also believing in a cause. Now hundreds of thousands of people are gathering, and now you're seeing streets filled with amounts of people. Now people are like, yo, okay, no one's really rioting anymore, but these protests are going on, and hundreds of thousands of people. I need to see what's going on every 2 seconds. Oh, the president's about to come out and say something else. Oh, I gotta watch what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. So now the whole shift is now peaceful protests. What's the president going to say about peaceful protesters and tear gassing peaceful protesters instead of these rioting and stuff? So I think it was all politically driven, and I thought it was ratings driven. Again, this cause right here is a beautiful cause, and I think that should have been the focus from the beginning, the peaceful protests and everybody coming out in solidarity. But that's just how that's how the business of news media runs.
How are you guys feeling about just I don't really want to speak. I mean, we can, but since we're in New York, I'm really only seeing what's in New York right now at the moment. How are you guys feeling about just police interaction with the protesters?
Some of it is nasty. I'm not gonna hold y'all.
Yeah.
Some of it is nasty.
And a lot of people are saying like the police officers, especially in New York, were kind of violating and and really going above and beyond because of the looting. But I'm telling you, like, I was seeing videos of like they were stepping above their boundaries even before like the looting. Like the first day of protests, I saw like a whole bunch of like videos
wilding, bro,
just cops going crazy like in the streets.
And you know what's funny? They really didn't start paying attention to it until this video came out. Now I could be wrong. Maybe they did. I don't know if y'all saw this video. There was a video of this white old guy. Nigga was like 60 years old, 70 years old,
75.
Just walked up to like just a crowd of police officers, just walking whatever they were walking to, right? Doing nothing. I'm assuming he was saying some shit like, you know, I can't breathe, something like that, right? Nigga pushed him. Nigga fell and he got a concussion or whatever. He was bleeding out the back of his head.
Well, I mean, that just happened a few days ago.
But I'm saying it took that for people to actually start to pay attention to.
I don't want to say that because I mean, you're on Twitter, Dante. You see all the shit that's been going on Twitter. Like everyone.
No, Twitter knows. Videos. Twitter knows.
But just the world in general.
I'm talking about the world and like the media, like he says. Like,
well, I mean, Twitter is the media.
Well, yeah.
Yes and no.
Yeah, Dante,
yes
it's
no.
been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know that.
It's been going on for a really long time. It's just that people. This is just and I said it before and I'll say it again. This is just a culmination of 40 million unemployed people.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
The coronavirus, so nobody got anything to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fact.
You know.
Yeah, everyone's been in their house for 2 months straight. Like
people are trying to get out the house.
Yeah.
They're killing black people in the streets. And people are finally sitting down in front of their TV, everyone, and saying, yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah. That's true, but.
So this is, so now they're like, you know what? I'm sick of it. Now, all of a sudden, now everything's coming to the forefront. Now it's not even just about, and you know, again, shout out to George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? And thank you for being the martyr to everyone that has passed away before you, you know. But they're starting to see everything, man. Systemic racism, you know what I'm saying? Racial disparities, you know, and everything. So it's been going on for a minute.
So how do you feel about the cops? Like, peaceful with being quote unquote joining the protesters, I guess you would say.
I mean, they're not, but I don't want to speak. The majority of the cops from, I mean, like I said, we're not seeing everything that's going on, but just from the media and Twitter, like we've been seeing the videos that have been going on, and
you think it's fake?
No, I mean, it's
not
definitely
fake,
not
but
fake.
You think they're putting up a front?
Like I said, I can't prove intent. You know, some cops, you know.
But how do you feel, Karan? With the Canal
I mean,
hat?
because I don't want to generalize everything, but from what I'm seeing, it's like, you know, officers are held at a higher standard than just regular civilians. So it is like, it's very disturbing and it's very unsettling just seeing, you know, cops just blatantly just violating, you know, not only human rights, but just like basic amendment like rights.
You said held at a higher standard than
they should be held at a high.
They should be. You said
law officials are definitely
be
held at a higher standard.
I agree with you.
As far as just obeying the law, and they're blatantly just like violating laws. So
I agree, man. I agree. I don't understand. Like, there's people that work at certain jobs, and you know, if they do some type of violation, just imagine, you know, you're working in customer service and you know, a customer one day curses you out, pisses you off, and you decide to use every word in the book against them. You're going to get reprimanded for that. You're going to face consequences for that. So why is it that a cop can literally choke somebody out, beat somebody up, shoot somebody in the back? You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, we pay for their salary.
Yeah, and
that's what's
and
wild
then just
to me, bro.
You know, they get assigned desk duty, or they just get fired, and they go about their life.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it.
You just took the life of somebody. So yes, you should be held at a higher standard. You should learn. You should know how to de-escalate situations. And again, it's not all cops.
Their whole job is to de-escalate situations,
Their whole job is
bro.
to de-escalate, protect, and serve. And if you cannot do that, if you cannot protect and serve, if you know that you're going to have a bad day, or you're having a bad day and yo, dude, you got to put that aside, man.
Yeah.
Once you put that badge on, whatever the hell's going on in your personal life or whatever, dude, put it aside, bro.
Bro, I think it's deeper than that, bro. I feel like the cops that hire, I don't think they're doing a good job in doing background checks. To me,
and a lot of them are racist.
A lot of them racist. A lot of them have mental issues. In my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Mix mental health. Excuse me. Mix mental health with racism and just a badass attitude.
And you have a gun.
And then a black person. Throw a black person in the mix.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. Yesterday, I was just curious. I was literally just curious. I'm like, what does it really take to become an NYPD? You know, you don't even need your associates to become NYPD.
Don't you need like 60 credits?
Yeah,
you need 60 credits. 60 credits.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Oh, you really
and
need,
like
so
they don't even have to complete. They don't even have to
complete
complete 60 credits. It's like, it's like they can. Well, you need 60 credits to become NYPD, but you can like also do a whole bunch of other like, just like very very basic just online like classes, and it's not that difficult. So they definitely need to find a way to kind of you know, just do better, like background checks, to just do better, like testing, better evaluations just on the police officers. So, I don't know. They should step up the game when it comes to recruiting.
No, they definitely should. They definitely should. That's ridiculous. But I am happy that our community is standing together. I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
I want to see more of it. So
hopefully it continues. It looks like it's not slowing down anytime soon. It's like
definitely not.
Seems like more people are just getting on board with it.
I know, man.
Which is good.
I just hate the only thing that I hate is that the people. I just feel like these causes that happen, which you know, these causes that go on with these protests and everything. There's always something or someone that always has to combat it. That loses the, you know, there's always groups that's always going to combat that. And it's like, dude, you guys missed the mark. You know what I'm saying? Like with All Lives Matter and all that other stuff. Like, you guys are missing, Blue Lives Matter. Though you're missing the mark. You're
what
missing
is Blue Lives Matter? That's for cops?
Yeah. It's like, you're missing the
Word?
mark.
For real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, bro, you're missing the mark. That's it. Why are you doing that?
But
you're missing the mark.
You know
Bro,
what it is?
Black Lives Matter does not mean that a cop doesn't matter. Does not mean that a white person doesn't matter. Does not mean, no, all it is, it's literally that simple. Black Lives Matter is that we just want the same respect, the same chance that our predecessor has in life. That's it.
I think a lot of the people who do support that, I think they know that. I think like they just don't agree with that. You know,
I don't understand.
They still think we're 3/5 of man.
Right, and that's literally what it is in society.
Talk your shit, my nigga. Hold
that's
up, man.
That's literally what it is in society, bro.
Talk
that's
that
all
shit,
it
man.
is. Yeah. Dude, to this day, any company that looks at an African American or a black person, however you want to call it, looks at us as if we're 3/5 of a person. That's it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, man, it's sad, but
that's crazy. Y'all, you were saying how people are so out of touch with this. My opinion, and then we can go around the table.
Or did you say that?
He said that.
Oh, he said that. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to put words in this.
Yeah,
people don't understand the Black Lives Matters movement.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? So, a lot of white people have been coming out and saying, well, white people we wouldn't really think they would say stuff like for example,
ignorant statements and stuff.
Like Drew Brees, very well white quarterback, one of the best we got in the league. He said what he said. I don't remember all of it, but the jinx of it, the first thing that he said was, "Don't disrespect the flag." Yeah. Right. Niggas bashed him. Everybody was going after him. So, and he apologized, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But now people see him for what he is. Like, okay.
Which he's always been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've always been this person. You apologize, cool, whatever. But now I see you in a different light. I personally don't mind. I'd rather a white person tell me what it is and see. I want to see what the supervisors,
and then move
questions, and move accordingly. So I want to know. So I'd rather you tell me, even though I could still finesse and see how you are based on your actions, based on how you talk, and I could see if you're really down with me or you just out of touch, you ignorant. So I personally don't mind that people are coming out and saying outlandish things because I think it helped a lot of us to see who these people are, and now we got to see them for who they really are.
Why are people coming out? I'm so confused on like why people actually choose to like say stuff on a public platform. Like, are they doing that like to stir up like heat on purpose, or like are they just really saying their true feelings? Because a lot of these celebrities that are coming out, they're just all out of touch. Like they're all in their little bubble of like Hollywood or wherever they're at.
Because it's this narrative that everybody's putting out, and I might be the killer. I might be the wrong person in the room, so I apologize for my statement right now.
You about to say some all lives matter shit?
Nah.
Okay.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
If you're silent, then you're compliant to the enemy, right? That's the narrative that people say now. If we don't say nothing about what's going on,
I don't believe that though.
That's what don't believe that either. Like when all this shit happened, I didn't post anything on my story, on Twitter or Snapchat. Yeah. I didn't post shit. Why? Because I'm gonna talk about it on Sunday.
Right.
Why I have to post all this stuff where I'm about to talk about it on
you,
Sunday?
I mean, you obviously you have a podcast, so that's
okay.
Your job
So not me. I'm a random person. I see this happening. I'm black. I see this happening. When did social media become the platform to say your like? Yes, it is used for that, for a platform for people to say that, to say your opinions, and other people see your opinions. But I don't need to put my opinions out there if I don't want to. My friends will know what I'm about.
Yeah,
and that's what matters. I don't care what you say.
That's definitely like the narrative. Like people are saying, "Oh, if you don't say nothing on social media, like, well, if you're silent, you're not with us." Like, no, you don't have to. I don't think everyone needs to like express how they feel on social media, because a lot of people don't know how to either articulate like themselves well enough to actually explain. A lot of people don't even really know the history of what's going on, so they're just really saying like outlandish shit. But there's other ways other than going on social media. Even if you want to like donate $5 to an organization that's, you know,
$5
or 50. I don't know if you want to give $50, but like Virgil or something. But I don't know, man. It's like you don't necessarily have to speak out. If you want to go to a protest and just hand out water to make sure everyone's good, you know, has water. Like there's so many other things you can do over just going on social media, because that really doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's good to have the awareness. You're spreading awareness to your followers and everything. That's good, but I mean, it's just social media. Like that's not really. There's more you can do other than that.
Michael,
we talking about celebrities or non-celebrities?
Want to do non first?
No, I mean just
people in general?
just people in general. Yeah.
Oh, you could mix both if you want.
I agree. I agree with that. I don't think everyone needs to say something.
Has to say something.
Yeah. Has to say something. I don't think everyone has to. I do think that if you are an ally, if you do, if you can articulate yourself well, if you can, you know, write something really well, then, you know, if you feel the need to, yeah. You know what I'm saying? In your spirit, in your heart, if you know you're out there doing something, like you said, passing out water, donating $1 or $2, or doing whatever to be a part of something bigger than yourself, then, bro, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right? I think the obligation of a celebrity, though, is if, you know, this is something that is affecting them, you know what I'm saying? Like a black celebrity, if this is something that is affecting them and they have that influence, that power to be able to rally people or to lead, because that's what people look for. They look for leadership. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not getting leadership from a certain place, like the president, you could say, and but your biggest role model is like Jay-Z or Kim Kardashian or Kanye West or you know what I'm saying, Ellen DeGeneres, those type of guys. People that are martyrs for speaking out about something, right? I think that you have to use your celebrity and your power to speak out about it.
Yeah. Especially if you're making money for, you know, off the culture or off black people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is not what we talked about the one time on the show. Kim Kardashian, for example, who has made billions of dollars off of the culture. Billions of dollars off of the culture. Bro, you should be the first person in LA right now. The one person at the forefront marching.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you doing nothing else.
I agree. I definitely agree.
You have literally
I mean,
taken the culture and almost sucked the life out of so many
I agree with
different
that.
athletes.
I agree with
and
that.
Celebrities.
Literally. Literal and figurative.
You need to go out
Shouts
there
to
and
Kim, shouts to Kim.
you need to be in the forefront.
Yeah.
Walking. I need to see you.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. I think there's something bigger than that there, right? I saw Kanye West marching in Chicago.
Yeah. They said he donated $2 million.
And he donated $2 million to
Yeah.
the Floyd family, Breonna Taylor family, and the Marbury family. And Kanye West was in Chicago, protested. And my man had this big old face mask on, granted Corona. And he wore this big old hoodie.
Yeah, I peeped that.
And he had his hands tucked in. He was just kind of walking with the crowd.
He looked confused, honestly. I was looking at the video like, man, he looks
Are we
confused.
surprised? Are we surprised though?
Bro, what are you doing?
Are we
Nobody cares that right now, if you're out there marching, you're being with the crowd, nobody cares who you are, bro.
Yeah.
We just know that you're here and you're a leader and you're with us. Nobody cares. Dude, you were more concerned about your celebrity. Seeing that, his body language, he was more like, oh, man, I don't want people to run
it's
up
really
on
weird.
me and be like, oh, can I get an autograph? And maybe, you know what, maybe that happened.
There's probably a few.
Maybe we didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, for what we did see is what I'm going to go off of.
Yeah.
Bro, put your celebrity aside.
Yeah.
Be a human being.
Put your celebrity aside. It's hard to tell somebody to put their celebrity aside
my
after they've
God.
been a celebrity for like 20 plus years. That's number one.
You saw Jamie Foxx out there. Jamie Foxx didn't care. Jamie Foxx had a T-shirt and a hat on.
That's
He
true.
walk in.
So I get what y'all saying, but it's like, when does celebrities have a responsibility to say what they gotta say because of their status and because their voices, their words reach a million people.
Their platform.
Right? Yes, but when do you look at the people who are receiving that information to understand that you know who that celebrity is? Example, she's a celebrity even though she's not. To me, she's not. Trina is a celebrity.
I mean, she's a celebrity.
Okay, she's a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I've been told, this isn't the first time she said ignorant statements. She constantly has said ignorant statements throughout her career or whatever, right? So she said the statement about the protesters because I guess they looted her friend's store, right?
In Miami.
So that's where they all came from. Calling them animals, they should lock them up, blah, blah, blah. They shouldn't be on the streets. They look like a bunch of animals, right? That's your celeb right there. That's the woman that you fuck with. She's, you listen to her music all your life, and you hear her say this. So you don't think it goes to the person who's receiving that information? Like, there's certain shit I got to take with a grain of salt coming from Trina. There's certain shit I got to take from a grain of salt from Kanye West. So celebrities do have a say, but it's them. Like,
Bro,
it's like...
trust me, man. Celebrities got a lot more power than you think they do.
Oh,
man.
but 100%. I agree with you.
Just influence that.
the
But like
man-
Karan
the
said, I don't think
man
every
made-
celeb needs to say
The man
see
is
something
a
about this.
billionaire basically off of Yeezys, bro.
Yeah,
The
100%.
man is a billionaire.
He
because of
should be
Yeezy
out there. I
sales.
agree. He should be out there. But I'm not checking. And another, she's not even a celeb. Like, people were going against, not going, but they were blowing up Ari's fucking, not Ari Lennox, G Herbo's ex, right? She's not even a celebrity, bro. She's a social media. Exactly. You see her face? But people, apparently she has a platform, right? Apparently a lot of her success has to do with the black community.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So people saying, oh, you should donate, you should
say
donate, blah, blah. And then she made a tweet saying that I didn't see y'all donate y'all stimulus checks. So why y'all coming at me for?
Let me tell you something.
Hey, man.
Let me tell you something. Ariana Grande, and I'm just using her as an example,
I'm about to say, we not talking about, we not talking about
I want to say, yeah, don't put her in anything.
has 189 million followers
Uh-huh.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Imagine if she just put out a post that says, hey guys, guess what? I'm marching at Times Square Wednesday at 7:30, right?
It's getting shut down. Everybody's going to be out there.
Let me see how many people. She put up a post. 2 million people liked her post. 2 million people. Over 12,000 comments.
Mm-hmm.
So if she says, guys, I want you to meet me in Times Square.
Bro, she can get like 20,000 people easy probably to like show up.
I hear y'all.
Like,
I hear y'all.
So the power of the celebrity is that they are so influential in the cause that is the Black Lives Matter movement, in the cause that is social reform, justice reform for the black community. They are so instrumental in that. And if they sit by and they just say, you know what, I'm in my own bubble, you know, it doesn't really affect me because I'm doing well in my life, I've become very successful in my life, it doesn't affect me. Dude, then what's the cause for it? The cause is for nothing. You need everybody. You need everybody. Yeah. You need everyone to be in touch.
That's true, but
But Dante, you also have to realize. I'm sorry to cut you off.
You good.
But a lot of these celebrities, like they have stands, like not fans, but like actual stands, like, and you know, younger people are definitely more impressionable than like us. But like a lot of these celebrities have like 12, 13-year-old like stands that literally, you know, that's like their idol. That's all they know. That's, you know, all who they look up to. So even if, like, let's say Ariana Grande has like a Trump supporter who's like maybe a younger person, you know, they'll look at it differently if they're so connected to her and they really fuck with her. Like, they'll take what she says. Like,
right,
they'll definitely take what she says, or at least think about it a little more. So
okay,
they have a lot of influence, man.
Yeah.
So then, what's the problem with the Off-White owner donating only $50? He's doing something, right?
That was the problem. Was he didn't donate? That wasn't the problem. The problem was he decided to put that out there, like for validation. He's like, you know, I don't. I mean, even though it was like a you know, one of those things where, you know, a challenge where like, oh, I just donated this, I challenge you. It was like something like that. Like somebody donated and then like tagged him, and then he posted that saying, oh, I just donated $50. Like, who's next? But I mean, I just saw a report that he made, I don't like pocket watching, but they were saying he made close to like $13 million last year or something like that, just from Louis Vuitton. So I mean, it's kind of a slap in the face when he says $50, you know, he donated. But I mean, but at least you can't really tell people what to do with their money. Like,
that's number one, and two.
But he chose to post it.
Yeah, so he deserves the backlash that he got because he wanted to post it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sit here and tell someone who makes mad money what
how
amount
much
of money
to donate.
You know what I'm saying? If they donate $50, at least they donated. You know what I mean? I'm not defending his actions.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Because if I made that money, I would definitely donate more than that, obviously.
Yeah, which he did later.
But I think a lot of, not even celebs, people are using these protests as clout.
For their personal advantage, yeah.
A lot of people are using this for clout chasing. To me, I've seen mad videos of people taking pictures during the protest. They're not even protesting. There was a video that went around, this white girl who protested that she was nailing the door down. Yeah. She wasn't. She got right back in her whip. Yeah, that now her shorty got fired.
Oh, did she?
She got fired. Her job got caught winning it.
Yeah. That's the beauty of social media, man.
Yo,
everything's
beauty,
out there now,
bro. You can't hide nothing.
Careful.
So,
you have to know.
I hear you guys that celebs and athletes do, but it's like, I know this is a different generation, different time frame, but back in the 90s, niggas wasn't checking for athletes to say their opinions. They were saying shut up and dribble, shut up and throw a basketball.
They were.
That was early 2000. Yeah. That was 2000. That was 2015. Yeah. 2016. 2017?
Some around that.
It was 2000 and something.
No. I know that, but I'm talking about the mindset was back then, even in the 90s. Because remember, the whole shit happened with
Jordan and Isaiah and all that shit.
And Isaiah, Jordan was the one that said what? Republicans buy Jordans too, right? When something was going on with something with the Senate race, there was a black man who was doing the Senate race.
To this day does not like Jordan.
No, he hates Jordan. Yo, they have
Reggie Miller too. Reggie Miller can't stand Michael Jordan.
Nah, he loves him, Michael.
No, he cannot stand him. You didn't see that? You didn't see the recent interview where he said on like Slam or whatever? Mm-hmm. He said that if he saw Michael Jordan in person right now, he'd probably punch him in the face. Word?
Yeah. Imagine getting punched by Reggie Miller, bro.
Bro, that's like getting punched by a stick, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
Them 90s ball players didn't play, bro. They did not play.
But Reggie Miller, bro,
I wish I might. A few people.
Yeah, don't sleep on Reggie. Don't sleep on Reggie.
I've seen them fights in Reggie. Reggie wasn't doing shit. Michael Jordan took that nigga down.
You look like Cheryl Miller might be able to body him.
Cheryl Miller would do better than him.
Cheryl Miller might body him.
Shouts to Cheryl Miller.
Shouts to Cheryl.
Nah, she was killing on the court, though. I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah,
She was nice. Shout out to Cheryl and Reggie.
One of the best of all time.
Facts. But
yeah.
I hear y'all, man.
Yeah,
speaking of celebrities, let's give a quick shout out to Ben and Jerry's. You know what I mean? The CEOs. You know what I mean?
You guys you were saying that. So they were out protesting and they ended up getting arrested.
They were out protesting and they got arrested. Why? I should have just looked it up.
I saw a few reports where there was like a few mayors that got arrested. Like there's a lot of people are getting arrested, like people of high stature. So I guess it's good though. Yeah, it's good.
That's just crazy to me, bro. Like
I mean, it's like
I really want to know what like they be telling the cops what to do before they send them out there in the field to like monitor the protests. Like, what do they be telling them? Like, just do whatever you want to do.
Well, you know, the ability to protest is your First Amendment right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, they pretty much tell them if they're being peaceful, do what they got to do. But if they break curfew, if they violate anything, and I think that anything that they try to find any type of, some cops try to find any type of excuse to violate, to try to violate, or to have protesters violate, you know, that right of protesting and then turn into something that's not peaceful. But basically, I think they would just tell them, hey, you know what, just be careful, watch your six, and just try to keep control. That's it. I mean, don't break. That's it. Don't break. Because you're going to have people spitting in your face, cursing you out, saying this, saying that, doing whatever.
You gotta eat those, bro. You gotta eat those.
You gotta eat them.
You gotta eat them. That's your job, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, okay, staying with the protest for one more topic. There's some rumblings in Dykeman, Karan, man. A lot of rumblings in Dykeman.
I'm gonna look at you. That's your spot, bro. You like Dykeman. You like going to what?
So I didn't
Mama
even,
Sushi.
To be honest with you, I don't really know the story. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I see it's just.
Did you see the video?
Nah,
you didn't see the video.
I didn't see the video either.
You didn't see the video too?
Nah, Natasha told me what was
crazy.
going on.
Like my uncle's like a really big poster on Twitter, and all I see him saying is like Dominicans and Dykeman be acting up.
Right?
They do though.
So what is going on? Like, can you explain it to me? I should be in touch, but
there's this long history of Dominicans claiming that they're not black.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They don't believe they're black, blah, blah, blah. And I guess in Dykeman, Dominicans run that spot.
Some.
Yeah. Let me not put that narrative out there. There's some Dominicans that know they're black. Some Dominicans that don't.
Are you Dominican?
Nah, bro.
Low key, he be trying to be.
I'm Puerto Rican, bro. Chill. So,
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm half
He
Puerto
really
Rican.
is. That's
Really?
a crazy
I'm
thing.
half Puerto Rican, yeah. Shouts to my Boricuas. You feel me? Ya tu sabes. But,
Not they stupid.
where was I? Okay, so yeah, there are some Dominicans that don't believe that they're black, right? So apparently, Dykeman's their hood. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who's not Dominican, they don't want them in here. So apparently, there was something that was going on this past weekend.
It was last week. They were there was a group of protesters just going through Dykeman and it was like, and I forgot which neighborhood it was.
Yeah, I forgot too.
A whole bunch of them out there, and they were pretty much like guarding the neighborhood, and they were like, "Yo, if you're not from here, don't come here." But the thing is too, they didn't want any looting, so they were like, "Nah, we're not doing none of that shit. Like, if you're not from this neighborhood, don't come here." So
I get that, but it's like,
but like I don't think they came to loot.
but like you don't own shit on that block in Dykeman. None of them niggas own nothing. They don't own any apartment complexes. They don't own any. They probably might own some of the shops. Maybe there's some local shops over there. But it's like, how you gonna tell somebody to not pull up in Dykeman? Like, you own that whole.
The
fucking
way they
street.
did it was definitely messed up. But I can definitely understand. Like, they didn't want any looting in the neighborhood.
I get it, and I fuck with that. I fuck with that.
How the way they came about it, it wasn't like right. They were like really pressed them. They were like, nah, like get out of here. And it was literally probably like 200 dudes on the block. It was like just guarding the block, and it was like, nah, you're not coming here.
And I respect that. I get it. I get it. But it's like,
but even the way they said, like, if you guys saw the video, like, it looked like super racist. Like, they were like, boy, nah. They was just like, It's pretty much like you know how like in the South they be like, boy, like don't come over here.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. Like it was really bad, bro. It looked really bad.
Yeah, it was like that indictment.
Yeah.
Dang, son.
Shit's crazy.
They just called him boy.
Imagine being called
Bro.
boy indictment, bro.
Indictment? Nah, I'd be tight.
I wish somebody called me boy indictment. But my thing is, and not to stay on this topic, we don't have to stay on this topic unless y'all want to talk about it, but my thing is for the Dominicans that don't want to
participate
and accept that they're also black, which is fine. You could think that. I understand why they would think that. You can think that. But my thing is, and just stop using our mannerisms, stop saying the N-word, and stop mixing our culture into your culture. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say you black, you not black,
See,
then you not black.
They weren't like,
no, I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. Like, if you want to say you don't black, then stay in your Dominican culture. Don't try to mesh our culture with
Dominican
your
culture
culture.
is black culture, so it's like hard not to.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
I think that's more like an older generation thing. I think like the newer generation.
Well, yes, there is some newer generation that is, but I have seen newer generation too that they just don't. And I think ignorance is powerful, bro. Ignorance is powerful. I didn't realize how many people are just not well informed about stuff.
And them not being well informed equals fear. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And fear then
That's a bar, bro. Hold on.
then after that, once you fear something, you create this, this idea in your head of that. So and that's how a lot of white people see black folks. You know what I'm saying? Or other cultures see black people. They see these. They don't know what they don't. Half of these, like I'll say like probably 90% of white people have not had a real interaction with a black person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and their only real interaction would be what they see on TV or what they hear, how music, all the music and everything.
Yep.
So they assume, oh, that's how black people are. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about how I work at a resort all the time, and working there, and it's predominantly white people that go to that resort. You see these people that you meet, the way they speak to you, they think that they have to speak to you a certain way for you to understand something. And like the kids that come there and you have these interaction with these kids, and you're like, why do you think that you have to? Oh yeah,
act like that. Yeah.
You got. I don't know. I don't listen to this. Latest rap. Listen, that sound bad.
Yeah, you're just.
I don't listen to the latest rap music that y'all be listening to. But like Chief Keef. Oh, you got Chief Keef. Oh, you got that A Boogie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, play that new baby. That new The Baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
white
like,
people interact
you be
with black
looking at
people
them
is
like,
so weird.
It's like, come on now.
Yo.
Why? Like, what?
And looking back, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because looking back in high school, bro, there was a lot of white people that were acting that way around us.
You
noticed it probably from the jump. I never really paid attention to it like that.
How I moved in high school. Like, I didn't trust, like, it was all like very underlying shit. Like, it was just a whole bunch of like backhanded compliment type shit.
I never picked up on shit in high school. That's why, like, to this day, I still say I honestly never really experienced racism yet.
Stop it, Dante.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe I just don't notice it. You know what I'm saying? Because every black person I know, they said they experienced it. Maybe because I'm so.
Woke.
Maybe
you
that's
ain't woke.
Maybe that's it. Because I don't really pay attention, and I'm very oblivious with a lot of shit.
That's it's a gift and a curse.
Oh hell yeah!
What you're saying right
hell
now?
Yeah.
It's a gift and a curse, because for you to be someone that has never felt like they have experienced racism, but to also still have an opportunity, because I do believe that we all have an opportunity, right? I do believe that we all, for the most part, have an opportunity. I think it's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have somebody, you can have somebody who has experienced racism all their life. I've experienced a lot of racism. I went to a predominantly white school as well, and I went to a predominantly white school early 2000. You know You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can't compare it to 80s or 90s or 80s, but you know, going to a predominantly like white school around early 2000, like 2003 to 2008, you know what I'm saying, or 2004 to 2008, you know, you have a lot of ignorant ass white people who think that, you know, who don't know how to interact with black people. So a lot of the times, a lot of white people will be like, "Oh, Michael, you don't dress like you're black. You don't talk like you're black. You don't sound like you're black. You don't." You know what I'm saying? You know. Oh, your mannerisms aren't like you're black, and I used to, and
talk
bro,
about it,
bro. You don't understand how much I used to hate that shit.
Like, what does that even mean?
I used to, and I'm the type of person who'll call somebody out on their shit. So I would always say to them like, "Yo, what the fuck does that mean, bro? What does it mean?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, well, you know, you don't," and then they don't know how to explain it. It's like, no, because I'm a freaking human being, bro. Yeah, no. I'm just like you. My skin tone is different. My pigmentation is different. My melanin is different.
Bro.
I agree, bro.
That's
you know
just,
what I'm saying?
That's just another way of them saying, "Oh, you're not like the other niggers."
Exactly. That's basically
talking
all
shit,
I hear.
Karan, you been on the road today. Didn't I go you? It's a canal hat, huh?
Yo, shut up, Dante. Shut up.
You on
That's
the road
all
today.
I hear when I see whenever someone says something like that. That's all I hear.
Yeah.
Oh, you just you don't act like them other niggas.
Yeah.
That's all I hear. That's all I see.
That's all it is, honestly.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And so that's why. Listen, man. If we want to end race, I'll tell you right now. If you really want to take a good step in the direction of ending racism, abolish the N-word. Nobody can say that. Sorry, man. I know it's hard.
That's hard,
bro. It's embedded in our heads. But yo, once black person's head. If black people stop saying it, white people gonna stop saying it because everyone's gonna be held accountable. Using the N-word, bro. How do you take a word that has been used to systemically and historically keep people of color down since the 1600s and turn around and say this is a term of endearment? Can you explain that to me? Yeah. That doesn't make it makes no sense to me. Oh, no, that's our word.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not our word.
It's like you don't hear like Jewish people like use terms that they were referred to, or like Asians or Hispanics. It's only like black people that still hang on to those words. But. So
if black lives really want to matter, and I'll tell you right now, if black lives really want to matter, black people have to start showing some real respect towards one another. We need to show respect to our women. That's the number one thing. We got to show respect to our women. We got to show respect to our culture. You know what I'm saying? And my man John Carl will say this from jump. We got to start owning shit.
Yeah, I think that's really the main thing.
And we just got to change the mindset, bro. And it starts with I think, man, and that's just my personal opinion. It starts with the N-word, bro. I think it does.
Okay, I have a rebuttal. I have a rebuttal.
Like, nah, man, I'm using.
I'm keeping that word.
I'm keeping it. That's mine.
Nah.
Y'all can abolish it.
Nah. I'm rolling with y'all on the N-word. I think it would be beneficial for everyone to stop using it. I never started using it until I met these niggas. Then I started using it.
Get the fuck out of here. Now, what are you talking about?
I never knew that word until I met him.
What that word is? I never heard that word.
Fuck out here,
what did you say that okay, you said, but when does it stop where black people always have to fix things?
What?
You're saying no, this is my brother. You're saying that, I'm not saying this is what you're saying, but this is what I heard, that another portion for black lives, like for this movement to really be in effect, that we have to take accountability of our own actions. We gotta respect the culture, respect our women. We have to own shit. Also, like the own shit, I agree with you. That doesn't really fit into what I'm talking about.
Well, how do you expect me to have respect for you if you don't have respect for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you can say that. And a lot of people will turn around and be like, oh, I can't believe you're saying some shit like that, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Because they're out here killing us in the streets, whatever. Mm-hmm. And granted, correct, absolutely, absolutely. Because there is a majority of, black people who have nothing but respect for our culture and everything, and are pro-black and all that other stuff, and will march out there. But if you want to do this, you got to do it as a collective, right?
Yeah, totally.
Can't have
100%.
you can't have one portion out there marching, protesting, and all this, and then the other portion is just like
sitting at home.
I don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. I never Black Lives Matter don't mean nothing to me because I'm good. I'm straight.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you
gonna still put music out and put this out and put that out that disrespects all things that you're fighting for. You know what I'm saying? That then allows the majority of people who are allowed to make legislation, because again, another thing that's going to move us forward is legislation, laws that are passed. That makes people who are in power look at it and say, well, you want me to vote yes on this, but then I see this, and it's like, okay, is that how everyone else is going to act?
But the tricky thing about that, though, it's like I definitely understand the point, but a lot of the actions we do as black people is like we're conditioned. Like we've just been conditioned to, feel a certain way or act a certain way, or, been put in environments. So, been put in like environments that don't really suit us or allow us to prosper and have the same opportunities as like another white kid. So it's hard for me to kind of put the blame on black people for that, just because it's like, racism, a lot of people don't realize racism didn't start until the 1500s. Like racism is economics. Like before like slavery and all that shit, Christopher Columbus, all that shit, like the only reasons people had slaves was like for religious persecution, prisoners of war, and like forgot what the other thing was. Maybe I think those are the two main things. But yeah, like before the 1500s, it's like racism wasn't even a thing. Yeah. So like people, it's like I don't think a lot of white people realize that because of what happened, and that's the famous thing all the white people love to say, it's like y'all won't let go of slavery, but like it really started off like that's the main thing for like blacks in America. I don't
understand why people how could people that's what I don't understand. How could people say, forget about slavery? What are you talking about, bro?
It's like, they use free labor to split up families, to rape, molest, like kill millions, and it's like this affects us down the line. Evolution takes time, so like that's just an effect of what happened 400 years ago. So we're seeing that right now.
Culture. And you want me to forgive you for that?
Forget that. Like, nah,
get the hell out of here. I could be right now. Just imagine if people didn't come to my land, rape my women, steal my gold, steal my resources in general. Just imagine how beautiful Africa could be. Yeah. Africa be its own prosperous continent.
And it is.
America could be its own prosperous continent.
No, it's the only reason it would never be prosperous if it wasn't for the free labor of blacks. That's the thing.
But the thing, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I agree with that. But you don't think that America itself would have been able, even with English colonization and everything, would be able to build up to what they are at today?
Nope.
You don't think we would be in a? Do you? Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm telling you, man.
You're probably right. And Africa would be
12
prosperous.
What? Nigga, we be out.
We'd be incredible.
What you talking
about? But what I'm trying to say is, you
didn't answer my point.
Do you think that even with trade, like we would be the biggest country?
As far as the trades, we're literally right there. We're close enough to Europe, to the Americas, to South and Central America. Like it's really in the hub right there. Like we definitely could, and like I don't think Americans would be as prosperous if they didn't use the free labor off of blacks. I mean, like they took 12 million blacks from Africa. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, we're just like things are definitely got better. Like we definitely see blacks more in power. We see more black millionaires. I think I read something the other day where they said 75 years ago there was literally only like I want to say the number was like 700 black millionaires in the world, and now there's like thousands of black millionaires. So things are definitely like progressing and getting better. But I mean, it's just all like generational, bro. Like this is the effect of that. So,
Y'all still didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
Y'all still didn't answer my question.
What's
So
the question?
it's not even a question. It's just
You forgot the question, huh?
No,
don't wanna
I
give-
didn't.
you don't
I'm
wanna
just
give
trying
the
to.
N-word?
No, it's not even about giving an N word. It's not even about that. I'm off of that.
He said, I'm still using it. Fuck out of here.
So you're saying for things to change, we have to focus on fixing our own community, our own selves first.
We gotta buy up. We gotta legislation, and we have to start buying property.
Start electing people
Those
that
two I
are
agree
similar
with.
to us.
That's,
Those two
yeah,
I agree
understand
with.
the struggle.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
That's honestly, man. That's it. That's it. That's literally it. It's legislation. It's electing officials that represent us, that actually represent us, and not these fake Democrats and Republicans. And we have to. What was my third thing? I just missed it. I just
own shit. Own shit, I think.
Ownership.
Oh yeah, ownership.
Ownership.
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's it.
Okay, so
And then abolishing the N-word. I think abolishing the N-word is a really big
Okay.
step. I think that's a really
That's a
big
hard
step.
one, though. I'm not gonna hold
I'm
you.
not.
It is a hard one.
I know it's hard, but I think I think it's I think a lot of it is mental,
Yeah.
and I think that
Conditioned,
the
yeah.
N-word, black people using it, and then allowing white people to use it in certain cases, it's mental, and I think it's a tactic. I think that word is used as a tactic in a sense. That's just.
I'm curious. How do you feel when? So I'm guessing you don't feel the best when a white person says N word around
In
you.
the last episode, you should have heard what this nigga was saying in the last episode, bruh.
What'd he say again?
Bruh, this nigga was like...
So this is what I do. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I use the N word. You know what I'm saying? When I'm with my boys, if we're in a private setting, I'll use the N word. But if we're out in public,
Try to stay away
I
from
will
it.
not use the N word because
Yeah, you really don't.
Because I feel like one, it gives power to certain individuals because you're always gonna have a mixed crowd. People like us, you know what I'm saying? I think that people like us, we're always gonna have a mixed crowd around us, and it gives power to people. I feel like it mentally gives power to people.
Like once you say it, like they feel like
they feel
have
like
the right.
they're like,
they
okay,
could say
we're
it.
cool.
Okay.
And when my boys and I are out, and my man Duran, Dre, and all them, they can attest to it. I do not allow them to use the N word in public. I will call their asses out on it and be like, yo, don't use that word. Don't use it.
That's what's up, though.
Don't use it because dude, especially when you in predominantly white areas, like say you go to New Paltz or I don't really know Middletown like that if it's predominantly white.
Nah, it's
Everywhere
not.
around here.
Wallkill, all those, you know what I'm saying? Certain parts, Hyde Park, whatever. When we're in certain parts like that, you know what I'm saying? And people are drunk.
You'll be surprised what comes out, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, and a lot of people say, oh, well, you're giving power to words that don't matter. No, the N word definitely does matter.
And
It
giving
is a
power
very
to words,
powerful word.
that's a word. That's a real thing too.
You
like
know what I'm saying?
you can give power to words.
You know what
like
I'm saying? Like that's
yeah.
that's a very powerful word, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like white people using it at all.
I can respect that. Yeah.
I don't.
You better get your man Sonny Tay, because
No, I'm just trying to know what I'm.
Sonny Tay let some white folks slip it out, man.
Yeah,
I am not.
but you know what? At the same time, I don't like to be a party pooper, bro.
Yeah.
And again, if I and you know what, I'm the type, and I said this on the
You
show.
gotta be a party.
You
pooper
gotta
when
call
something-
it out,
You
bro.
gotta
You
call
gotta
it out.
call it out.
But when do, like I said before, when do black people? Why do black people always have to fix things? Meaning when I
okay.
say fix
Because
things,
nobody
is
else
that,
is gonna fix it if we don't.
Yeah.
and that's the problem. I think that's
We
really the
can't rely
problem.
on-
Niggas
we
is
can't
not.
rely on other people to fix things.
I'm not saying us relying to, but the fact that we can't point at a white person and say, "Hey, blah blah blah, you should get educated. Why are you acting this way?"
Because you can't.
But
force
whenever
people-
we
you can't
lash
force
out,
people,
we have
bro.
to educate.
But what
We
what-
have to-
what-
we have to be
but
taught.
Bro, what are you talking about? Like you can't tell me I can't expect to understand a white man's problem like the way a white man is supposed to understand my problem. That's why we're marching.
No,
That's why we're fighting.
I get that. I totally agree with that. But what I'm saying is the reason that we're marching and the reason why we're doing this is because there are racism in this world. There's a lot of white people that are racist. So what I mean is that okay, I'm not using us as an example, but the fact, why is it that? So you're saying the solution is okay. We need to do this, that, and the third. Why can't the solution be like?
You basically expect a white man to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, black people have a lot of issues.
I'm not saying wake up in the morning. Everything is a everything is a progress. Everything is a process.
But the solution is not. It's not such a simple solution,
it's
though.
Not. It's not. But I'm saying in my opinion, we not fixing anything.
I think we are.
No, what I'm saying that we don't have to fix. What I'm saying we don't have to be. Why should we fix some? I don't know.
Because
I understand what I'm trying to say.
Never, we have to.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, it'll never get done.
It'll never get done. We have to.
If it's like, I think I'm sorry, white people listening to this, if you feel some type of way, but honestly, I think the majority of white people, if they can have it go back to like us, like do free labor and work in the fields, I feel like a lot of people, pretty much. But yo, I'm telling you, I think a lot of people would rather have it that way. Like just looking at, and I kind of like how all of this is playing out because I'm seeing a lot of like on Twitter, it's like you're either on one side or the other, and I'm kind of seeing how both sides think, and I'm starting to realize, yo, a lot of white people really think that we should probably like just either work for free or just go back to Africa. Like a lot of them feel that way.
I agree, but I don't think our generation was like that. I feel like a
No,
lot.
no, I'm not saying more our generation. Yeah.
Are more like well informed than.
But even the older generations, they still have families who. I mean, that's the thing. The whole point is to kind of install that in the minds of like younger people, so when they grow up, like it's not generational.
Exactly my point. So the younger generation is gonna quote unquote get educated by their environment, being around more black people. Like you know,
but they still have families.
But they need this, man. They need these protests. They need
to see it.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly, man. In order, and I said this in a message earlier. In order to enact change and see change, there has to be some type of major sacrifice, right? There has to be some type of major sacrifice.
Of course.
You know. Again, you know, people like George Floyd, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? All these people, you know, Philando Castile, all these people are martyrs, bro. They are the example that something needs to change, you know?
I agree.
And it's unfortunate that black people have to be killed in the streets and videotaped, and you know, white officers are being let free for something like this to happen. Dude, it should have never gotten to this point.
Agreed.
When the system was being set up, it should have said, okay, if a cop is going to choke the shit out of somebody or who's handcuffed and is helpless, and they're gonna choke the shit out of the person, you know what? Fuck trial. Fuck all that. You're going to jail, bro.
Facts.
Be held responsible. Be held accountable. Like, dude, like, this just gives people, like, yo, seeing stuff like that gives people power to say, well, you know what? Minnesota cops have been fired and brought back on duty for the amount of violations they commit. This man had like 16 violations, 16 complaints until something like this had to happen. He's been fired, I think, twice for something like this to happen. Like, bro, are you serious?
It's like it shouldn't take that many times to figure that out.
Like, it's really sad that my man, you know, George Floyd had to lose his life. But then when you look at this, it's like, oh my God, did George Floyd really have to lose his life for something like this to take place?
I agree.
How sad is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How disgusting is that, bro? But to answer your question, why do black people always got to fix it? We got to fix it because if we don't, shit like this, George Floyd's, they're going to be George Floyd's and all these guys all the time.
Yeah, it could be somebody in your family.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
I agree.
I tell people every day, man. Dude, it's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time, bro.
Before it's you.
Before it's me. Or it's you. Or it's you.
I hear you.
My man, Dante, man said, I've never really experienced racism in my life. One day he could be driving home after this.
You're right.
Get pulled over. All of a sudden he's the next one on a you know what I'm saying, on a sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So it's like, bro, we got to fix it. We got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, black people got to fix it because, you know, Jerry from God knows where ain't gonna wake up one day and just say, you know what, I gotta save the world. I gotta save black people.
Jerry.
Systematic racism.
I gotta change systemic racism. You know what I mean?
Jerry.
He's not gonna do that. He don't give a fuck because it doesn't affect him.
Oh, Jerry not caring.
This racism probably making him more money than ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Jerry filling up his pockets right now. Jerry.
But that's the sad reality, man. It's a sad reality. It's sad that you can wake up every day and it could be your last day because an officer might be having a bad day.
Yeah, that's just real shit, though.
You know what I'm saying?
You got something to say?
No, I mean, I just want to say, like, I do think things are definitely getting better and are leading towards the right direction, though. You know, I don't want to be like super negative about it, but you know, I'm definitely happy about, you know, the changes and just the people. You know, it's good to see people who actually care. You know, people from all races and all parts of life just, you know, standing for us and standing with us. So, you know, it's definitely a good sign. That means everybody can't be bad. So, you know, they just got to change up the rules a little bit, you know, change up the laws. You know, as far as, you know, police brutality goes, because I think police brutality and racism, it kind of go hand in hand, but it's a totally separate issue. So, you know, police brutality is not going to stop racism. You know, Ahmaud Arbery, you know, that wasn't a cop that killed him. So, you know,
I hear you.
That's all I got to say, bro.
Off-duty officers, actually.
Off-duty officers. Yeah.
It's crazy. Damn, I hate horrible segues, Karan. I have a horrible segue. Somebody talk about something else so I can segue this into the topic.
I mean, what other topics you have?
No, it's just something in my head I want to talk about. How do I segue it?
I don't know. Any new music you've been listening to, Dante?
Nah, you know what's funny, bro?
What's
you
up?
know what I was thinking about?
What's up?
This has nothing to do with any of this stuff going on. Yo,
You about to say some fuck shit right now. I bet you.
Why do women, whenever they get in a relationship, they just stop talking to guys, like their guy friends, and then after the relationship, they come back to the guy friends like nothing ever happened? Why is that? I think that shit is hilarious, honestly, to me. Look, Karan quiet. Canal hat.
I'm chilling.
Because
so you don't got a response.
People like to throw all their eggs in one basket, and I think a lot of females, guys, friends are hating ass hoes. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, bro. You know what, man?
Horrible segue.
Not everybody can be trusted, bro. Let's just keep it. Let's keep
That's
it a
a
buck.
fact.
Let's
That's
keep
a
it a
fact.
buck. Not everybody can be trusted. Dante, you dating somebody, and your shorty got a guy best friend that she always confide in. You ain't gonna feel some type of way about that?
Nah.
Oh, all right. That was episode 70 of the Soapbox podcast. Dante, come on now.
Bro,
Stop it.
You and your girl is beefing, and she go to him to talk about you. About, you know what, man, I can't stay. And this man sitting there talk about, well, you know, Dante, he need to get his stuff together because, you know, real man might come in and... Can you imagine that?
Bro, Dante's
And
girl
then
don't
she
even
come
know
back
about
to
his
you
friends.
and she could be like, you know what, I talked to him, and, you know, I talked to my man best friend, and, you know, and then you sitting there in the back of your head like, what else y'all talk about? It's like, damn, you talk about me to him like that?
That's kind of dirty macking, Dante.
Yo!
Oh, that's major dirty
That's
macking.
mad.
That's
You
dirty
thinking
macking
about
right
it
there.
now, right?
It's dirty macking.
That's why, because when they get into a relationship, the dude is like, yo, listen, I don't really want you really talking to other dudes like that. Some guys might be forthright and be like, yo, yeah, I don't want you talking to other guys. Some other people be like, well, you know, kind of calm down with who you talking to.
How you feel about having, like, let's say you had a girl and she had a male, like, friend. How, like, do you feel like you have to be around them? Could you trust them, or does it just depend on their relationship itself?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It all starts. It's how it all started when y'all was just talking in talking stage. You know what I'm saying? You meet somebody, and say you meet somebody with a guy best friend, and you see the way they interact, and they cool, and they chat, or whatever. And then you're like, oh, this girl's fire. Oh, you start talking to them, and then, you know, the male best friend is still there, and he's kind of cool. He hangs out with all y'all whenever you guys like in the talking stage and everything. You're going to feel comfortable because you know dude. Because now that's your friend. That's your boy now. You know what I'm saying? But if you have no idea who this man is, and she just always kind of talking to him, she always around him, you're going to feel some type of way. And it also has to deal with your own insecurities as well. Yeah. So,
but you though.
Oh, me personally.
Yeah, you personally.
Lord have mercy. It depends, man. It depends. If I don't know, dude.
It depends. It depends if how long they knew each other beforehand. Like all of that.
I firmly believe that if you had a friend there before me, I shouldn't be the reason why you should stop talking to that person because I'm brand new, bro, and I don't know if I really want to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
So if you cut homeboy off for me, and then all of a sudden I'm just like 3 months later, I'm like, yo, this relationship is trash. Or you end up finding somebody else that's even better, and you're like, you know what, man, this shit is trash. I'm about to move on to the next. Now you lost me and you lost your best friend. That's fucked up, bro.
You ain't got no.
That's pretty courteous, though. A lot of people wouldn't think of it like that, though.
But y'all don't think the dynamic of the girl and the guy best friend's relationship will change once she gets a girlfriend?
It needs to change. It has to. You gotta kind of put a little. You can't be.
Because some people would say it would change by the girl not talking to the guy anymore, just because the girl's quote unquote best friend is now her boyfriend. So what does she need a guy best friend for if she has a boyfriend? So why should I keep talking to this guy best friend?
Nah, I think you always need people around you.
You need people,
your
but
girl
if you have your boyfriend, why do you need a guy best friend?
Your girl need to chill with people sometimes.
Yeah, people, but it doesn't have to be a guy.
So okay, so you're saying if she had this guy best friend from jump, right?
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden another guy comes in
the picture, they start the date, and the dynamic of their relationship changed. Now that's saying maybe they just stopped talking to each other.
Nah, you can't dead the guy best friend. You can't.
Why not?
You can't. Why? Like, that's messed up, bro.
Dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah, right.
But it's not even deadened. Just the dynamic that y'all don't talk as often as I used to. But when y'all see each other, it's all love.
Well, that's different. I mean, if y'all still cool.
Yeah, it's just y'all don't talk no more.
Yeah, like, and you know what? The best friend has to realize that too. It's like, oh, my best friend is now in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to impede.
You gotta fall back a little bit.
You gotta fall back. Yeah. They gotta realize that. If you don't do that, then you being selfish yourself. You know what I'm saying? Then
isn't it hard though to
definition of a hating ass hoe?
Pretty much.
You a hating ass hoe if you.
What if you just miss your friend?
Nah, fuck that. You a hating ass hoe, Dante.
I ain't no hating ass hoe. I'm just saying.
Dante, you a hating ass hoe.
I'm not hating.
I'm trying to see other people prosper. It's like, oh, I'm trying to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see my girl do good. I want my girl best friend to be good. I want her to live her best life. Blase blah. You know what I'm saying? My mom messaged me. What she said?
Dante, do you feel the need to tell like I'm not saying you personally, but if you were in a situation to tell your girl about like any maybe women you're hanging around with or women friends that, you know, might be platonic, might not be, but do you feel the need to at least let your significant other know about women you're hanging around with? Yo, they about to give Dante a ticket out there, bro.
I'm about to raid this house,
bro. I'm saying. But wait, say that again.
You feel the need to tell your significant other about other women friends that you're chilling alone with, or maybe chilling in a group with?
Bro, I say I don't, but I do it.
But you do it. But you do.
I'm too honest. I've been told yesterday, actually. I'm too honest.
Really?
I am too.
Tell the truth and then some. Does that make sense? So let's say I'm out with a platonic friend. I'll tell her, hey, I'm out with so-and-so. She don't know her, like, cause I never spoke about her before. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Shorty.
Do you feel the need to tell her that? Oh, like I never did anything with her, or you just?
I don't ever tell her.
No.
Unless she asks me. If she asks me,
then you'll be honest. But even if you slept with her, you think you have to be honest, even if like let's say you did sleep with the person.
I think with those type of friends, you don't bring it up. You don't have to bring it up because. To me, I don't think you have to bring it up if you were friends with someone that you slept with, because I feel like if you're mature enough, then you.
Be
What
careful,
is
be
the
careful,
reason
be
to tell the
careful, Dante,
person?
Be careful, Dante.
What is what is the reason to tell the person that, oh, this is my friend, by the way, me and her used to fuck like 2 years ago type shit.
It's
But
you know,
we
You
friends
never
now.
tell your girlfriend that?
No. Why should I have to tell my girlfriend that?
Oh my God, just
Dante,
out of
you
respect,
lost
bro.
your damn mind.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas is
I didn't mean to
capping.
set you up. I didn't mean to set you up like that, Dante.
No,
I
no, no,
didn't
listen,
know that
man.
was gonna be your answer.
Where Troy at, man? Get Troy on the phone.
Troy gonna say the same shit I am.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we gotta
Where
make a
my
phone
at?
call.
Where my phone at?
Is
bro?
Troy gonna answer his phone?
Why don't you call from the
I don't think it's gonna
It's
work.
not gonna work. Okay.
I don't think it's gonna work. We could try.
No
actually.
way.
I know it worked last time when we did.
See, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of. Hey, I'm giving him a call. You think it'll connect to her?
I don't even
Oh,
know.
you could just try calling.
You phone right now?
Damn, damn. Send it straight to voicemail.
Does he? He doesn't have a new number, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Try calling him. See, that's the beauty of editing and recording.
That's a fact.
You could just cut.
But knowing Dante, you don't leave all the shit in, bro. Yeah. My man changed the number on y'all.
Yo, listen, man.
Marcus agreeing with me. I know that.
Oh, here we go. Yes, that's somebody I can call.
Marcus
always
agreeing with
answers
me.
my call. Is he working?
Oh, he might. Nah,
Let me see if he's working.
he might
He
be
will
working.
always answer my calls.
Oh, it's ringing, so he's not working. He could be at work and answer the phone.
Let's see. Yo, see, I told you, Marcus always answer my calls. That's my
Marcus,
brother.
you are on the Soapbox podcast. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Brody?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Marcus, I have a question for you, my nigga. So,
He's wild.
let's say you have a okay. Let's say you and Short, you had a friend, right? A girlfriend, right? Y'all used to mess with each other like 2 weeks ago on like a sexual level, right?
Okay.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? I thought you said 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. My fault. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years ago, right? Y'all used to, fuck or whatever, right?
But that's your best friend now.
Sure. We'll go with that narrative. It's your best friend now, right?
That sounds like some shit.
So you have a girlfriend now. Are you gonna tell your girlfriend about this friend that y'all used to fuck 2 years ago?
2 years or 2 weeks?
2 years.
Hell no. What?
Get the bro,
Nigga.
bro. You gonna tell
Why
me
not?
right now?
Why not, Marcus? Why not?
Why are you unjust?
This is your female, bro. Bro, this is your female best friend. What are you talking about? This is a shorty that, okay, y'all messed around before, but y'all hang out all the time. So now your new girl gonna be like, yo, y'all mad close. Y'all used to mess around before? You gonna say, nah.
Nah, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is my best friend. Like, these people about we used to be something, but right now it's nothing. But if
He ain't gonna say that they fuck, but they say, oh, yeah, we used to be cool like that.
See, I'm not saying, why would you be? It's a girl. Her mind is gonna go in 1,000 places.
Her mind gonna go in 1,000 places if you don't tell her what the truth is. Because you know she gonna try to find out anyway.
No, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
That's a bar.
Shit, I'm not gonna hold you.
You don't do anything. And if you don't say anything, it's not your fault. Because it was before her, it was the past. It has nothing to do with her.
You know that shit don't matter. You damn well know that shit don't matter.
Yeah, but you're starting the problem.
Who's on the problem? Me or the girl?
If your girl has a nigga that she fucks with, like her ex, you don't need to know about that. That's just gonna cause, because now every time she's with him, it's gonna cause extra issues. When you know what it is, you can just keep it a buck, and that's it. Why are you gonna just stir it out the pot?
Don't do that.
I-
Don't do that.
Not
You
him.
you dangerous as hell, Marcus. Both you and Dante, y'all got the same mind frame. Y'all, so there's something wrong
What
with
if
y'all.
she did this to you? Would you be mad?
I'm telling you right now. I'm being straight up. I'm being straight up. Yup. Yeah,
How
you
about
know,
you?
we kind of did something back in the past, but you know, it's nothing. Oh, y'all still cool now? Yeah. Then she gonna be like, oh well, I don't want you really hanging out with her like that.
Exactly, and it's gonna change everything.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I guess you're right, but either way, man, you still losing. You can't have no female friend
You're not
against an
losing
insecure
if
female.
Nothing has to be said.
Same thing with
You
me.
tell a friend, like, yo, listen, you already know how y'all girls think. She doesn't need to know that we're friends. We're gonna keep it that way. As long as you're not doing no sneaky shit, then what does it really matter?
That's facts.
As long as you ain't doing no sneaky shit, what does it matter? But Marcus,
It has nothing to do with her. You never even thought of when that happened.
Monticello Marcus.
Marcus, I agree with you. I'm gonna let you go, bro. Thank you. All right. All right, bro.
Yo, peace, man.
Karan, how do you feel about that, man? We didn't get your take on it.
Bro, I'm honest with, like, my girl, bro. At the, I don't know if I want to put that on here. Actually,
I'll edit it out if you don't
fuck
want.
it. At the protest, bro, like, there was a girl who well, we were cool until I started dating my other girl, but like, once I started dating my girl, I like fell back completely, and then she saw me, and like everybody I was there was like, oh shit, isn't that Shawty you used to talk to? And then I had to tell my girl, I was like, yeah, Shawty over there. Like,
That's messed up.
You know what I mean?
They really
Not me.
That right there
Not
is
me.
some hating ass whole shit. Yo, that Shorty you used to talk to. Bro, what are you doing?
They're blowing up my
Nah.
fucking spot and shit.
Bro,
like,
that's facts.
see,
Now that's dirty macking right there.
definition of some hating ass whole shit.
That's some dirty macking right there.
yeah.
Yo, ain't that Shorty from around the corner?
Yeah.
You thought
Nah,
to,
but
like,
I mean, like, everybody's different. No, like my girl, I'm super honest with my girl. Like, I could, like, I'm comfortable telling her shit because, I mean, man, I don't know. Maybe I just ain't shit, but
yeah, I ain't shit. I'm not saying like if she asks me, my nigga, if she
You gotta
asks
be
me really
comfortable
wants
with the one you love, bro. If you ain't comfortable with them, if you
Talk
can't
your
tell them
shit.
certain shit,
Talk your
then
shit.
It's not
it's
gonna work.
pointless. I don't-
Okay, so let me clarify my statement then. In the talking stage, I'm not telling her nothing.
No, not talking stages. No.
If we date and she brings up that person and she wants to know everything,
I'm saying something. In the
I'm
talking
saying
stage.
something.
I'm saying something.
in the talking stage,
Yeah,
you're not obligated to say
wait,
nothing.
oh, you're
Absolutely.
saying something in the talking
Bro,
stage?
I'm getting
Really?
it over with. Getting over with. Yeah, I used to fuck her. Not
Oh,
really. I'm not gonna say it like that.
I'm about to
but
say
you
you
know,
wild,
man.
my nigga.
I used to mess with her.
But you don't need her to talk about it in the talking
Nah,
stage.
fuck that. I'm saying it.
Just
right
putting
then
it
and
all
there,
out
yo.
there.
So you want to get out the
Yeah.
way before we even get to that thing.
Bro,
Okay.
listen. I'll tell you right now. I just know the type of girls I date. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I know the type of girls I date. They all the same. At the end of the day, they all the same. They all gonna feel some type of way about somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They always gonna feel some type of way about somebody. So if God, thank the Lord, if I'm starting to talk to somebody and all of a sudden I'm running into every girl I used to mess with, because you know what? I'm telling you, yeah, we used to mess around. Yeah, we used to mess around. Blah blah blah. Cool. Don't answer about nobody else. Don't ever bring up the conversation again. Don't ever do nothing like that. Because again, if I'm with you, I'm with you.
I hear that.
I hear
I'm
that.
staying with that, bro. Start being honest, Dante.
I'm
Honesty is key.
honest. I'm just. I told you I clarified my statement
Dante.
in the talking stage.
First of all, Dante,
What?
your barbecue was crazy.
Oh my god! Now we talking about my barbecue.
Bro, Dante, your barbecue was crazy. Dante, I don't think I've
See, now
ever
he's dirty
seen.
macking right now.
Dante, I don't think I've ever seen. Dante, listen.
Oh, you talking about the joints that was up in there?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we
he
go.
should have known us in high school, bro.
Bro, let me. Look, he's like,
look
let
at
me put
Dante.
this on mute. He said, go ahead, Mike, talk.
Y'all can talk. Y'all can talk.
Ain't nobody can hear you anyway.
Talk. Keep
Dante, let me
talking.
tell you something.
Tell me something. Let me tell you something.
The only time you see that many beautiful women in one place is at an event.
And that was light too. The barbecue.
Yo,
This
y'all
man said
barbecue
that
was
was
light,
light.
too.
This man
Y'all
said it was
gassing.
light.
No, it
Y'all
was
ga-
light. Come on,
Y'all
Dante.
gassed in
Dante,
there, bro.
Dante, give yourself the flowers while you can.
You
You
know
know you
what?
throw fire.
You know
You threw
what?
fire bangers in the past, Dante.
I don't even know why I brought that up.
I mean,
I have,
This
bro.
man- yo,
I
listen,
have.
the only time you see that many, and you know what I'm saying, there was a lot of beautiful people at that barbecue. Like, everybody was beautiful.
sure.
Everybody was beautiful. No more. Everybody was beautiful. But there was, oh my God,
there was
Dante.
there was some joints up in there.
Dante, what the hell?
Wait, so
Bruh, who
wait.
are you?
I'm asking the question. So why are you bringing up the barbecue?
No, because I'm just saying, in a situation like that, right? In a situation like that, where
So
you
you're
bring your
saying-
girl to the barbecue and they see all them beautiful ass women at the barbecue, and they like, and all of a sudden they all friendly with you. Like, Dante, you gonna tell me that at your barbecue you got your shorty there, and all these other girls are at that barbecue, and they're like, "Oh, Dante's barbecue. Oh, hey, Dante." Shorty's gonna ask, "How do you know all these women?" Because we asking you how you know all these women.
Because at some point, nah, let me.
Bro,
let
we
me
sitting
tell
there
you.
like, whoa, Dante, how? Dante, we at the club? Like,
Come on, Dante, talk your shit. Dante,
you know
talk
what
your
I'm saying?
shit. Oh, he's too
saying
modest.
nothing.
Damn, Dante.
I'm not saying nothing, bro.
Damn.
Come on, bro.
You're supposed to talk your shit.
Let's
bro.
keep it a buck, bro.
Keep it a buck.
Please, those are all
He
just
was like,
Dante's old
yeah,
bitches.
They was.
Those are just Dante's old bitches he invited, bro. Stop.
On that note, this concludes episode.
Oh, now you went into the episode. All
He's
right.
like, well, yep, that's it.
This concludes episode 68 of the Soapbox. I want to thank Michael, aka Corporate Mike, aka Mike, for being part of the podcast.
Give a round of applause.
quick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us, bro.
I thank you guys for putting me on the show.
No problem. No
I
problem.
don't get a lot. I don't get the opportunity to talk my shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro. Soapbox is all about people talking their shit. You know.
Yeah. I would love to be able to be on a platform where I can kind of talk my shit more.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Karan, Canal hat. You got any plugs you want to put in, bro?
No, man. Just shout outs to everyone listening. Thank you, Mike, again for having us over here.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, everybody listening on Spotify.
Shout outs to Alicia
Apple.
and Nakeem, man. Those still the peoples.
Fact. Shouts to Lucy and Akeem. What else?
That's it, man. That's all I gotta say.
Facts.
Blue Chew sponsor coming next week. I promise y'all, bro. I promise y'all,
Chew
bro.
on the blue.
We riding the corporate right now. I'm telling you, we in the process. Bro.
Chew on the blue.
Chew on the blue. I like that. Chew on the blue. Yeah.
I will.
All right, peace.
Peace.